Hi, and welcome to my video tutorial about Evernote, a note-taking app, very much like Notability or QuickNote. I like this because I can combine screenshots directly with my notes, either just by taking a photo with my cell phone of written notes, or by using Sketch, which is a related app, or by using an Evernote plugin to take pictures of whatever is on my web page that I want to put in. So let me introduce you to the app and to show you how to enter notes with either by typing them in or by using the other apps that I mentioned. Let me just put my password in. When Evernote opens up for you, it will open up into your notes page, and you can change that by going up into your view menu and looking for your notebooks. And this way you can add new notebooks. You can see that I have several notebooks already set up because I tend to take my notes for classes in Evernote. My default notebook is the temporary notebook, and that's where when I take photos with Sketch, those enter my temporary notebook because it is my default notebook. And then I move them to whatever notebook I need to move them to. I can organize these notebooks according to name, according to number of notes per notebook, according to when they were updated. Right now, I'm going to add a new notebook, and I'm going to call it Recipes, because I'd like to maintain all of my recipes. I do get a lot of recipes from the web, and I'd like to make sure that I have them all in one place. And one place that's accessible from all the devices that I use, because this is web-based. This is the nice thing about Evernote. I can access it no matter what device I have in my hand, whether it's my laptop or my cell phone or my iPad. All right, now that my recipes page is set up, I'm going to show you how to enter notes into that notebook. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the view to my notes view. You can see that right now I'm opened up to all notes. Well, I don't really want to see all notes. I just want to see what notes I have in my recipe book. And right now I have none. So the first way that I'm going to add a new note is by typing. So I'll click up here to enter a new note. This recipe that I'm going to enter is a recipe for poulet yassa. Now, as soon as I start to type something in here, you can see that I get a formatting menu here. I find it's a lot easier just to use the menus as they show up here on this screen rather than going up in here. But the same formatting can be accessed this way as well. So I'm going to pretend that I'm typing in. Actually, I have it saved, so I'm just going to paste in the recipe here. And you can see that I can edit it as I want here. I can add or subtract or type, and I can change the formatting. I can highlight things. I can bullet things or put things in a table as well. Another interesting thing that I can do is I can also add an audio note if I wanted to, but I don't want to, so I'm going to cancel that. So that's one way that I entered a note, and you can see that over here, because of the view that I've selected here, I can see it as a card. Now if I want it to look more like Pinterest, I can have all my recipes show up in cards across the top, but I like having this view instead, so that's the way I'm going to keep it. Now another way that I can add notes is by opening up my browser. Let's say I'm on a page where there's a recipe that I found, for example this one, or where there is text that I'd like to clip and I don't really want to retype it all. I have the Evernote plugin here. I just click on this, and it gives me some options. So first of all, it tells me here what it is exactly that I'm clipping, and then it allows me to choose the notebook that I want to put it in. I do want to put it into recipes, so I'm going to leave that one selected. I can get rid of tags because those tags don't apply to this, and then if I want to add some text or comment about this recipe, I could add it here. Down here I have some options about exactly what it is that I want to clip from the web page. I can either clip the full page, which would in this case give me the advertisements that go along with it, and I don't want those. Or I could just clip the URL if I don't need to actually see the page. But this time I want the actual recipe, so I'm going to clip the article, and you can see that it's highlighted here already. So if I clip that, it tells me that it's syncing, and then it tells me that it's done. And the nice thing about this is that without even going into Evernote, I can go ahead and edit it right here. So you can see that it brings up the same formatting options that I have in my Evernote program, and it also allows me to share it through email, or it allows me to delete it right here. But I'm happy with it, so I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And I'm going to go to my Evernote program. And now I have to sync it. If it hasn't synced automatically, then I'm going to just click on that and it will sync, and you can see that it brings the recipe right in here. And here too, I can open it up, and if I wanted to, I could click in here and I could edit it here as well, add my own particular notes to it, or I could add tags to it if I wanted to. Now there is one more way that I want to show you that we can add information, notes, or a recipe in this case, or photos. And that is through using a related program called Sketch. It's connected with Evernote, and it deposits screenshots directly into Evernote. So I'm going to, I have a nice picture here in this recipe. I don't have any picture in this recipe, and I think I really would like one here. So I think I'm going to go on the web, or maybe on my computer, and I'm going to look for an image that I can include with that recipe. It just so happens that I found one here. So I'm going to open up Sketch, and you can see that I have a couple of options about how exactly I want to take a screenshot. In this case, a crosshair snapshot is going to be fine. I'll just set my parameters to where I want them. It doesn't have to be beautiful because it's just for my recipes. And if I didn't like it, though, I could change it by moving these blue circles, but I'm happy with it, so I'm going to go ahead and capture it. And then over here you can see I can annotate it, so whether it's text or a picture, I think I'll go ahead and just write here, Yasa. And then I have mine set to save manually instead of automatically, so I'm saving it here. And this takes a little bit of time. Usually not this much time, and it's done. So I can go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to open up my Evernote again. And now, even if I sync this, it's not going to show up in this notebook because, as I said, my default notebook for entering items from Sketch in particular, my default notebook is this temporary notebook. Okay, now another place that this will show up, though, is if I click on All Notes, then you can see it's there as well. So what I'd like to do is get this into my poulet yassa recipe. So in order to do that, I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to also select my recipe. And this will bring me to a new screen over here where I can do a couple of things. I can simply move them to the notebook that I want to move them to. I can merge them, which I like to do. Or I can also actually send them as an email to myself or to someone else. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and merge them. Now it tells me here that once I merge them, I won't be able to access this photo from Sketch anymore, but I don't care about that because really what I want it for is here. And you can see now that it's merged into my poulet yassa recipe. Now I'm going to clean this up a little bit because I don't need all that. And now I have a nice picture to go along with my recipe. So those are just a few introductory ways to enter notes into Evernote. The program is really pretty versatile, so there's much more that you can do with it than what I've shown you here. If you have any questions or if you'd like to get started with it, you can go to evernote.com, and they have some information there about how different people use it, and as well as information on apps that sync with Evernote like Sketch. So I hope you've enjoyed this program. Thanks for watching.